Welcome back, Nail Queens. Today I want to do an updated review to the NAILBOO Dip Liquid System. If you guys remember from last October, I did a review on their dip liquids, and let's just say it was not pleasant. Well, guess what? Now they have new bottles, and I felt like it was very important to do an updated review on these bottles to see if the consistency or anything has just gotten easier and better to use. So NAILBOO has sent me all of these products for free. I did not pay for any of them. Just like my first review, I didn't pay for any of those products either, just so you know. So far, all I can tell is that these bottles are significantly better and I can pull the brush in and out with ease compared to the last time. So I'm going to dip in this color called Boo Blue. It's a really, really pretty blue powder. And I'm just going to put these liquids to the test, see if they're thick, stringy, and gummy like they were the first time. So let's try it out. So not only has the bottle shape changed, but the bottle neck opening is also wider, allowing me to get my brush in and out with ease, so I'm not having to struggle with the bottles anymore. So thank you, NAILBOO. I don't know if you listen to me or if it was multiple complaints from customers, but I'm so glad that you made this change, and hopefully these bottles are here to stay. Also, I'm noticing that there is no stringiness when I apply the dip base to my nails. I'm literally trying it over and over again, doing many coats, as you can tell, and I didn't experience any stringiness. So I'm going to dip in the dip powder and see how much of it coats. I also have peel base on my nails. That's what I put on my nails before I started dipping, and I let it completely dry. And it's good that this is not patchy yet. We will see when I dust everything off. But so far, I don't see any dry streaks or any patchiness like I have in the past with certain brands' dip base when using peel base. That is a common issue that can happen when you're using peel base on your nails before you go in with dip base. So I'm glad to see that that is not happening here. Now I'm going to dust everything off, and this will test the drying time of the dip base as well. And now I'm back, and you can see that it did not smudge or smear any of the dip powder, which means that the dip base dries reasonably fast. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your preferences for dip liquids. So now I'm going in with a second coat of this dip powder. The first coat wasn't really opaque. You can see that it's very, very sheer here. I don't know if that's just how this powder is, but other NAILBOO powders I have used have really good coverage in the first coat, so it might just be this powder. And then I'm going to do another coat, a second coat on my index finger. I'm also going to do my pinky nail in blue, but that's not going to be pictured here because you've already seen me do it twice on two nails. So now I'm dusting everything off and I'm back. So after the second coat, I noticed there were still some sheer spots in certain areas, so I'm going in with a third coat. I really honestly prefer only doing 2 coats of dip powder on my nail because I'm also wearing jelly tips. If you have no clue what that is, I will have a video linked here in the cards and the description box to show you how I use jelly tips under my dip powder. But it basically is a full coverage tip that is applied with a gel-like product. And because of that, it adds like a certain structure or thickness to my nails, and I don't want to make my nails look too thick or bulky, which is why I prefer only doing 2 coats of dip powder on top of jelly tips. But there are instances like this where there's not enough coverage and I have to do 3 coats. For the mani that I am doing, I'm also using the color Necessary Pink. It is the NAILBOO French Pink color. Quite honestly, it could be considered clear. I wish it was more tinted pink, but it is what it is. So I'm going to be dipping twice in those on my middle finger and my ring finger for the mani that I'm doing because I plan on doing nail art on top of it. So I activated File Shaped and Buff off camera, but now I need to look at the instructions because I'm pretty sure that after I File Shape and Buff, I'm only supposed to do one layer of top coat. NAILBOO's instructions are a little bit different than other brands that I use. So I'm applying a generous layer of activator to all of my nails. The instructions state to wait 2 minutes to let the activator sit and dry before you go in with the top coat. So now it's time to apply my top coat, and the top coat is just like the base liquid. It is basically a super glue, but the top coat needs the activator in order to properly dry. So that is very important. You can't use this top coat without the activator first. So I'm going to apply a thinnish layer to all of my blue nails. I still plan on doing nail art on the clarish pink ones, so those are not going to be top coated just yet. I noticed that the coat that I did on my thumb was way too thin, so I'm thickening it up a little bit on these other two nails. And I'm gonna look at my thumb again, and it's looking, honestly, not the shiniest. It looks kind of wrinkly. So for science sake, I'm going to test it with 2 coats. All the other brands' dip liquids I use say to do 2 coats, so I'm really surprised the NAILBOO one only recommends 1. Maybe they recommend 1 really thick coat because a thin coat really made it look wrinkly and I didn't like that. So I'm gonna let that dry and then put it to the test and see if it actually properly dries. So I'm noticing it's drying very, very well. However, I touched my thumb a little too soon and there's a spot right there that's like a thumb mark. So I have to fix that. And the way that I fix those issues whenever this happens with any brand is I take a little bit of acetone and a paper towel and I just wipe it, and it instantly dries the wet area. So the other nails dried perfectly well. Really, to be honest, the thumb thing was my fault because I didn't follow the instructions and I put 2 coats and didn't let it dry enough. That was my fault. However, I didn't like the shine on just 1 coat. So it's really just up to you. If you take the risk with 2 coats, give it ample time to dry. So now I'm applying cuticle oil all around my cuticles, and then I'm going to do the nail art for this mani off camera. It's a different video. This was a NAILBOO dip liquid review, not a nail art video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. You got to see how the new dip liquids or bottles function in real time. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this new updated review and if you like these liquids.